eVTOL Weekly, episode 15. My name's Liam.
And I'm Reese.
And I'm going to start off with, I'm going to be dead honest, Reese. Me and Reese are after watching our soccer team, Arsenal, get through to the Champions League semi-final. It's the first time in, when was the last time? 2008? 2009?
Yeah, around about that. We've only been there 3 times, so
yeah,
2005,
and we've never won it.
2008, 9, and then now. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great performance by the lads.
And we absolutely walloped them. So over 2 legs, we beat them 5-1. So, do you know what, Reese? I think it sort of leads us into today. Do you know what? Yeah, I want to have a little bit more of a relaxed, laid-back stream today. Yeah, I feel like we've been flying forward with so many moves. I think we just need to update the guys on what's happening. We'll talk a bit about Archer and Joby, our talks with Vertical. But I want it quite interactive today. I want to hear some of the guys' thoughts, what they want, where they can see us going, and then what type of videos they want. I know, was it Terry wants a video on vertiports, and we're working on something like that. I'll be open and honest. We've had, some of you may have seen it on X, we've had, I don't want to name them out because nothing's finalized, but a specific fund reach out to us wanting us to interview them because they're integrating vertiports into a city. They're talking to the likes of Joby and Archer. I think it'd be quite exciting if we can get that over the line. We start off with the news about Vertical Aerospace.
I think that's probably the best place to start. So I guess giving a bit of background for the guys will be that Vertical Aerospace is a company based over here in the UK, so a little bit closer to home than we're used to. And it's one that's been popping up on the radar. I think we've seen quite a few comments with it. So it was one that we were interested in, but what we were struggling with was there isn't that much information. It's not like a Joby and Archer, where even though we complain about their PR, there is a lot of it out there. There's a lot of news, and you're very aware with what's happening with them on a day-to-day basis. So I think for us that we give out a video there just basically asking the questions that we had, because there's only so much information available at the moment. And when we were looking into it, we were just thinking an interview would be the best like place to go through and ask these questions. And we'll bring it from the community. All of you guys are experts in the eVTOL field, and you know what sort of question to ask. And then obviously we can be the voice of that. And then we can know if Vertical Aerospace will be a competitor in the eVTOL industry going forward.
Yeah, so I'll get into my discussions with Vertical. We reached out on X. We wanted to interview Vertical. They were very responsive, straight back to us, and followed us and reached out to us in DMs, wanted us to connect with them. It took a day or 2. Then they transferred us to the PR team, and we got an email address. I thought it was more or less going to be a dead end. Then, you know, normally you get sent an email and it's like, you know, sits there. I mean, within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, we got a response. We're setting up a call with them to learn about their project, everything about Vertical, just so we can share it to you guys. And then they said, at the moment, would be the wrong time for us to do an interview with them. Just over the next few months, they have an awful lot going on, and they reckon it'll be better in about a month or 2 when they have the news over the line to then come on and have an interview with us. So I'm happy enough with that. At least what we can do, guys, if you've any questions at all you want to know about Vertical Aerospace, please pump them into the comments now. I know I say this a lot, but I have a pen and paper ready here. Pump them into the comments because I feel like now's our time to shine, Race. These guys depend on us, so like we are now their spokesman when it comes to having a meeting with Vertical. Then we 100%. Will get that interview over the line. They are very responsive and they seem more than willing to facilitate us. I'd like to build a good relationship with them. No, we haven't asked any questions at all, but it would be very easy for me and Reese to get to their premises. It's not like us flying halfway across the world to Covington, Georgia, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's only down the road, really. So, really, that's all we have in regards to Vertical Aerospace. We've done a video on them. If you don't know anything about them, make sure to check out that video. I don't know, what's their price sitting at the moment?
That's a good question. I think when we were looking at them, it was 327. I believe so. What was it coming up at?
Yeah, 335 after hours. They're up 4.72%. So market cap's currently 286.63 million. I'm gonna be dead honest. I'm not invested in them, and I've been honest with them in my communications that it's not that we don't like the company, it's we don't know enough about the company and we don't know enough about the project, and I don't want to be going off hearsay. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth directly. We're going to be open and honest with you. If we like the project, we'll tell you. However, if we think it's a falling ship, we'll be honest.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to bring up is you've probably seen lately we've been pushing a lot into Rocket Lab. Now, I want to clarify here and now, we are not swaying away from eVTOLs.
Yeah.
I think some people are worried that we've more or less dropped the bag and left. No, there's a reason we're pushing out Rocket Lab so hard this week, and it's because when you infiltrate into another sector, basically, not much people know about us. You guys all know we're here every day, but the Rocket Lab guys aren't aware that to them we're just another one of these wannabes. So just be patient with us. I promise we will maintain trying to do at least 4 or 5 eVTOL videos a week. I believe between the two of us we can do that. There's nothing stopping, say, you doing a Rocket Lab video and me doing an Archer video, or doing a Joby video the same day. So that's one thing I really want to clarify, because we've had a few comments where people are asking, are we stopping doing eVTOL content? No, guys, if anything, I'm more bullish than ever. I think we've sort of rode the storm for now. I think me and Reese both agree these 90 days is make or break. Reese, could you see the tariffs coming back in 90 days?
Yeah, I don't know. There was some sort of rumor today that China might be willing to negotiate. I think, as we've all said, it's going to be a bit of a bargaining chip, and it's obviously just buying some more time so that nobody feels like they're being held over a barrel to agree to the tariffs. So I think at the moment, we're obviously in the clear, and hopefully it does get sorted out. But in 90 days, if there is no agreement, we'll obviously be in a big problem. We'll basically go back to where we are here, which was on the brink of a recession. So
I think
hopefully they'll be over the line by that point, and I do think they will be over the line by that point. But we're gonna have to wait and see, unfortunately. But I guess in terms of the eVTOL space, we've still got to wait for that part certification, and I'm looking forward to these next earnings calls, because I think there should be a lot of information now, because we're so far into the year.
I'm excited for the earnings call. I think what we need to do is do it a little bit different this time. We sort of need to weigh up the scenarios that are happening as and when. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into some of the comments here. So if anyone's wondering why I'm fuzzing and I'm up close today, literally about 2 minutes before we came live, that's why I'm late. You can blame me this week. Before I went live, my camera said it needs an update. So I'm now running off my second camera, which is the original, the OG. So going back to the OG. So we have Dylan Rogers. welcome back all. Newblade, want to give Newblade a shout out. He is now a moderator on X for the eVTOL Investors channel. Guys, if you're not in the eVTOL Investors channel, make sure to check that out. Newblade does pump some nice content into there. Everyone's free to post whatever they want about eVTOLs, as long as you're respectful. Honestly, I love every opinion. Dylan Rogers, hey. Dylan Rogers, need to know their flight data. Me and Dylan actually had a conversation this week on that. It's quite hard to actually find Archer and Joby's flight data, and it did make me a little bit concerned. That Joby's coming out saying that is it 40,000 flight hours?
40,000
and we were struggling to
actually find
some of the public data, if anyone has any information on this, please share it so we can all see it. Production capabilities and scale of manufacturing.
We need to know that. But I think because they're planning to start in 2028, aren't they? About their like full scale rollout. So I think we're going to have to. I imagine that's going to be a little bit further down the line for them. I imagine they're still in the design period at this point. Maybe in like stage 2 rather than stage 4. Like we're looking for Joby and Archer.
Who's the partner to build the aircraft? If I am not mistaken, it's Rolls-Royce, isn't it?
They've got a few partners, yeah. I'm pretty sure was Delta Airlines one of them as well, or United Airlines.
American Airlines. American Airlines, they wouldn't be manufacturing them. It'd be Rolls-Royce manufacturing, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's Rolls-Royce. Anyone doing Aero IPO tomorrow? I don't normally touch IPOs. The only IPO I'd be very interested in touching would be the likes of Anduril. Is anyone else with me? If Anduril went public, I'd be in there. Do you know what? I actually don't know would I go in on IPO day though, because
it seems to always a lot.
Hold the stock for a certain amount of days. I don't know. It'd be hard to convince me not to go into Anduril. I don't know. I love Anduril.
Sometimes you're better off holding and waiting to see where the stock price goes, because there seems to be a lot of IPOs where they're at a all-time high
and then collapse.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I'm always a bit wary. I'd like a little bit of data before I start making my decisions.
That's interesting. Greetings from 34,000 feet, flying from, is that Atlanta to California?
Must be Atlanta, yeah.
After a successful meeting with a certain 150 billion company we pitched today.
Bloody hell.
WHP. Do you know what? Yeah.
The big baller.
You get us in talks with Joby and Archer, you can be like our negotiator.
That's what we were missing.
150 billion company.
I hope you get some commission on that.
Yeah, I'd want some commission, but with the amount of shares this man has, isn't it something like 500,000 shares?
Something like that, yeah.
This man don't need commission. He's just doing it voluntary.
Yeah.
It's probably his company. 150 billion.
Unbelievable.
Archer holding 6.8 is kind of bullish if macro holds and rally from here. I honestly think the macro seems to be stable enough. We know the likes of NVIDIA chips were banned from China. There was a certain chip that's banned from China. I wasn't looking too much into it. To be fair, I'll be dead honest. I was just so excited looking at all the Neutron news today. I wasn't actually paying much attention to the overall market. I feel like at the moment I'm kind of at that stage with Archer and Joby, unless I see a partnership or I see significant progress. I'm neither buying nor selling at this stage now. I'm quite happy with a position, and I don't know. It's like I've sort of like let the long-term investor take over. I went through that. I'd say 6 months, about 4 months into the channel. Do you know when we started going hell for leather, Archer and Joby? I kind of just let Rocket Lab just take a back step, and you know where you sort of like the long-term investor sort of takes over. Whatever happens, happens. I'm kind of gone like that with Archer and Joby at the moment. I'm sort of happy how the businesses are playing out. I won't be changing my position. If anything, I'll be adding. But like, unless there's an absolute catastrophe, I won't be selling any Archer or Joby. What about you?
At the moment, I think this is quite a good price range for me personally. So I'm not adding ridiculous amounts, but it's all about the accumulation, isn't it? So each month, especially now once we're under $7, I think it's quite a good sign that we've fallen back, and this sort of $6 seems to be the bottom of this sort of pullback. Obviously, famous last words, but yeah, at the moment, I think under $7 is a good price, and I think towards the end of the year we are going to see a huge rally. So I think that's what we've got to look forward to.
In WHP, yes, tariffs come back. Less cross our fingers. Certain retailers that source a large percentage of the inventory for China have already made certain decisions about products coming from there. And that's quite interesting because haven't they sort of lifted it when it comes to like mobile phones? Sort of like Apple and Samsung sort of have in a box from these tariffs. If they could move that into the eVTOL market with stuff like that, do you know what? I'd be happy days. But no, all seriousness, I can see a deal getting done. I don't think it'll get done anytime soon. I think it'll actually come down to the wire, really.
You think so?
It's like the debt not long ago, and they brought it right down to the wire. I think this will be the same thing. I really think it's a game of chicken, and it's no one to back down. Problem is, both countries need to back down.
Yeah, well, like they both want each other to feel a little bit of pain, and like basically prove their point of like this will affect you and this will affect us. And yeah, I could see it going down closer to the wire, but I do think in the end it will become a deal. It just has to. Like, well, let's hope so.
If not, we'll just be sitting here talking about Arsenal every day.
Yeah. Change it to the Arsenal channel. To be fair, if we did win the Champions League, that's all I'll be doing anyway. So,
if we win the Champions League, I'm coming on a live. Yeah, I actually think I'd bring a beer on the live. Yeah, and I'd sit with the guys and be like, "This is it. This is as good as Archer and Joby going commercial now."
Yeah.
All level of happiness would be next level. So Archer holding well relative to the broader market, especially after Nvidia's write-off. Now, I haven't actually looked, but did Nvidia pull down more than the rest of the market because of them chips? Down 6.87%. It did have a nasty pullback from that. Did I tell you about my Nvidia? Remember I was playing around. I was guys.
You call cold.
I got caught with my pants down. But guys, I was doing some nice trades between Uber and Nvidia. Uber, I actually made 27% on. But Nvidia, wasn't it, Reese? I was going like 5% off, taking profit. It'll drop back down next day, 5 cents. Oh, guys, I've been caught badly. I'm holding the bag at 134. And throughout that major pullback, if I just had that cap to death, I wasn't messing around. I'd be so much heavier in Archer and Joby. But you know what? Every day is a learning day. And it was fun while it lasted, but that is the exact reason why you don't do it with your whole portfolio.
Exactly like that. Yeah, you'd be caught now.
And do you know if you leveraged? Yeah, I was actually thinking of that.
Oh God, yeah.
If you leveraged at 134, you'd definitely be caught out. Do you know when it drops like 86? Is that?
Yeah. Well, what percentages of it? Yeah, like in no time, in absolutely no time, you'd been out of it.
Guys, you'll know the day I go back to leverage because I just won't show up on the channel. Do you know, Reese, me and you must have stopped investing for 3 or 4 months when the catastrophe happened.
When you have to sell the oh yeah. The leverage one, 100%. That was a hard time and a very bitter pill to swallow.
I actually got to tell the guys the story. Yeah. We were very, very naive at the time. So then, after it, to recoup a little bit of money, we started playing around with like Pepsi. Remember Pepsi, Coke, and J&J leveraged them hot. And do you know what? We never got stung badly. Like,
because they don't move that much.
We were taking on was stupid.
No, yeah, it was. But like, it's a risky bet because like the 10% or whatever that was, 20%. Like, you can't really get caught out on them stocks because they only move by like 1% or 2%.
You just get caught holding the bag for ages, and just your maintenance would just be insane.
I'm pretty sure we've done it with. Is it Next Era Energy as well?
No, it wasn't. It was Enphase.
Enphase, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, nah. That actually gives me nightmares till today.
That nearly done us dirty, though.
Oh, but like, we were up. We must have been up. Was it like 20%?
So what it was? No, we got in. It was around 110, 107, 110 or something like that. Went up to 130, and they had earnings, wasn't it? And
that was it. Yeah.
Nowhere, the collapse was colossal. And if you look at Enphase today, I think it's bouncing around between the $60 to $70 range. But we were so convinced that, like, after that COVID rally, and then we were just expecting a massive boom again. We thought it was going to be the NVIDIA sort of thing at the time. It's mad. I do think Enphase has a good potential over the long term, but I just think during COVID, absolutely.
Yeah, like in their books, it's been blacklisted now. That I feel like it's wrong to me, even though it's not. It was all my own decisions, and like that's what I think. Problem is with
honestly, let us know if you have any funny trades that you've ever done. Whether
or have you ever leveraged? Let us know in the comments.
What's your worst story with leverage? And I can have a bet we'll match it because
are we the only ones that made a massive mistake whilst leveraging?
Guys, when I say not once but twice we blew our account to bits. Absolutely. No, I only have to say one word to you, Reese. Nicola. Oh no. Tilray.
Tilray was the stupidest thing ever.
Oh, mate. Anyway, we're in Archer and Joby now, and these guys have came here to not listen to us ramble.
Listen to us speak about our sorrows.
WHP, congrats on the meeting. Yeah, mate. Honestly, well done. WHP actually connected with me on LinkedIn. Do you know what? I'm actually so sorry. I created the LinkedIn for the Hustle Brothers ages ago, and then I completely forgot about it. And it was only then I was looking through our emails when we were talking to Vertical, and I was like, "Oh no, WHP is friend us on LinkedIn." So yeah, and also Phil reached out to me on Facebook. God knows how you found who I was on Facebook, but he found me. So yeah, I was happy to connect. And yeah, I'm talking to Dylan Rogers on Instagram. So Reese, I'm too busy to talk to you. Thanks, Dylan. Andrew, yes, please. Yeah, honestly, if Andrew IPO, do you know what? At that point, I might just have to cut my ties with NVIDIA messing about once I get my money back. But I need to stop that trading and just put capital in Andrew. I was being silly there, though. You know what it was? I thought I was smarter than the market at that stage because we've just made so much with Rocket Lab. I feel like we're in the right place with Archer and Joby, and I just had too much capital left over. And we were in a massive bull market, and I just could see, and everything I read, everything I looked at in video was going to 170. So I was like to Reese, like I was laughing because every day to Reese, I was like, yeah, just made 5%. Then I'd wait a day, let it drop, and then I'd make another 5%. I'd be, yeah. Look who's stuck with the bag now.
There's worse that you could be stuck in it. If you're stuck in a Tilbury, whatever it is.
Tilbury, yeah.
Yeah,
we know Nvidia's coming back. I'm not worried. You have a lot of people trying to push down the market at the moment, saying that Nvidia. Who's that? Melt, the bald guy, that does the stocks.
Which one's that? Jim
Cramer.
Oh yeah, that guy's a legend. Oh my god, he's got like 100% failure rate.
Yeah. Like that guy came out the last day and said, what was it? The times of buying Nvidia are over or something like that. And I thought, you know what? I'm happy enough. My Nvidia is now. That guy is an idiot.
You can rest assured, no matter what he says, it's going to do the complete opposite. I've seen him come out and say something about the eVTOLs as well. Because I seen it was negative, I was like, come on, we got this.
No, guys, if any of you can find any videos on Jim Cramer talking about either Archer or Joby, please send them across to us. And
yeah, we could do a video on Jim Cramer.
We'll do a deep dive on Jim Cramer's analysis of Archer and Joby, and it won't just be us taking the mic. Like that'd be stupid. Yes, it will be us taking the mic to an extent. However, we will bring facts there. We won't just laugh at him. I promise.
But the majority of it will be mic taken.
Switch to all messages.
I think he was speaking to WHP earlier on in the chat.
Oh, sorry. It was characterized as a home run, we'll say. Andrew, yes. You know what? I'm at the stage. WHP knows what he is doing. So, if WHP is investing in it, I'm definitely investing in it. I just followed this guy. Is this looping? Are we okay? Are we looping? Is it production 365 days? Is that in reference to Vertical Aerospace?
Possibly. I'll have to have a look for that.
WHP, sounds like you did everything you could do to knock that meeting out. Great job. What would you make of Archer's recent PR speaking about testing in Abu Dhabi in May? I'm getting to the stage now. This sounds bearish, and I promise, guys, I'm not being bearish on it. But I sort of have a quick skim over it now when I see it happening, because I'm just kind of sick of PR at the moment. I just want it to happen, or I want something really significant to happen, because I don't know. After seeing EHang fly, I don't know. You need a passenger flight to get me proper excited now. Like, you have your pilot flying, it'll get me excited. What's your thoughts, Reese?
It's sort of just reiterating what I said at the beginning. With I'm waiting for these earnings calls to actually hear some significant updates on where we're standing. I'd actually quite to know like how the certification is going. See how close we are. Are we still on track for late 2025, early 2026? Is that still the plan? Where do we sit? I know there is a lot of these sort of fluff pieces that are coming out at the moment, but very similar to you, yeah, I would like a little bit more. And I think that is probably because of where the stock price is in today. If we were up in the $15 now, they'd probably be getting away with it. But obviously, we feel like we started the year on such a high, and now we're seeing where we are. And that's nothing to do with Archer or Joby. That's just the whole market. But it's just one of those things, really. So at the moment, I think we need you need that little bit of fire. So they need to give us something to really get our teeth sunk into, and then I think we'll be straight back on it and really fired up.
I think what it is because we're doing it so much. It feels like we're just talking about the same thing on repeat and repeat, just a different video, but we're saying the exact same. Because it just feels like it's the same content coming out, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Abu Dhabi, it doesn't really matter where it is. I don't know. I'm at the stage. I'm getting a little bit bored of the PR. I like seeing it coming out, but at the same time, I don't know.
I think, yes, and especially like with EHang holding up the mirror and sort of saying like, "Here, we're getting a passenger flight and we're showing and documenting it." I think that sort of feels like they've sort of.
We got butchered by some guy in the comments saying that we've been hating on EHang for the last 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what you have to do to the trolls? Yeah, I'm gonna give the people a lesson now. What you have to do to the trolls, you have to kill them with kindness. Yeah, and I was like, thank you for your feedback, mate. Sorry about that, but we've only had our channel open for 9 months. Thanks for your opinion, though. He never replied. But on that point, I think we need to come together as a community and sort of think about it. We were getting an awful lot of people come in. You can't compare EHang to Archer and Joby. They're nothing alike, and this, that, and the other. We didn't compare them as such. Like, sometimes you just got to take your hat off to someone when they do well. You can't butcher someone the whole time. If they do well, we will be the first to commend you. If we're wrong about something, we'll be the first to hold our hands up and say it. But yeah, I didn't really like all the hate for EHang when they'd done something positive. Fair enough. You know, when you caught the security guard sleep, that was fun. But like, guys, if no one has seen it yet, go back to one of Reese's first videos. No,
that was an old form video as well, so that will probably be a watch by itself, like, or even without the security guard.
If you want a lot, just go back to like our first few videos. We look like different people. Like I cringe when I see them, but at the same time, it's nice to see. But that was probably. Do you know at the time I didn't realize how big of a find that was. But that was actually monumental. Like if we got that information now, I can have a bet that video would absolutely pop. But it's funny when you first start up. But yeah, if you want to laugh at race, go and watch that. And if you're feeling really joyful, go and watch on a mine too. Production, 365 days, 102 Saturdays, Sundays, 13 holidays, these 250 days of production, 2,000 a year, 8.5 a day. Are we talking about Archer? Because that seems like an awful lot for Vertical Aerospace. I'm sorry, guys. How beautiful is the XB4? Is it the XB4?
Let me check.
That
craft though is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Any more, Terry? Point. They're going to need more factory. Oh, I presume we are about Archer. Own NVIDIA at 680. I am sorry. Terry owns NVIDIA at 680 a share.
Sorry,
is that pre-split?
Jesus Christ.
Pre-split or post-split? Because that is unbelievable.
That's probably the find of the fucking your entire life.
Do you know what? Interesting as well. Please tell me your biggest ever win. I'm going to be dead serious. Long term, mine is by far Rocket Lab. But no, I can't really say short term because short term was with leverage. Like, we did have some nice wins some days. But
but that's the problem. And then you want to win more, and for some reason you use like the whole pot or like 75% of the pot, and then you lose half, and you're like, what the hell have I done?
And you know the problem when we leverage though? We both done it at the same time in the same stock. So like when one goes with
if we were going down, we're going to go down with the ship.
Oh yeah. It would be interesting to see tomorrow if anyone closes out those 450 contracts and buys those shares tomorrow. I am getting so confused what stock we're talking about. Are we talking about Archer? Yeah. Sorry I'm late. Cole.
Hello,
How do
welcome back,
you reckon
Paul.
that content? I actually asked that question earlier to some of the guys. Some of the guys saying stick in your lane, stay with the eVTOL. Other guys are liking our Rocket Lab content. We're dipping our toe in. We're seeing, do people want it, or do they want us to stay in? Do they want to stay in eVTOL? Look, you're the community. Me and Reese, yes, we're the face of this, but it's your guys' channel. Me and Reese just show up. We honestly don't mind if we talk about, or to be fair, I do mind. I don't want to be coming here talking about Nicola or, I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely anything like that, highly risky, highly volatile. Want to keep it a mile away from.
Delta
We're past that
Wi-Fi,
stage.
bugging, switch to all messages, mate. I feel like Archer's held up very well in Terrace Talks. The fact that we're not seeing Archer open or close in the 5 shows me. Do you know what? I genuinely thought we could easily go into the 4s, if not the phrase, when all these initially came out. Like, I was genuinely preparing myself to see my portfolio disintegrate in front of me. But do you know what it is too, Reese? Do you ever get this? Yeah. I am sorry, guys, but every long-term investor sometimes thinks, "Will I trim a bit? Will I trim a bit?" But Reese, do you ever struggle with the fact that our whole channel is built around Archer Joby? Do you struggle to trim Archer Joby because you feel like you're letting everyone down? Tell them that.
I don't think that, like, the problem with me is not even letting everyone down. With me, it's greed. Like, I think that when we got to $12, I was thinking about $20. I wasn't thinking about returning back down to $7. And like, that's why I was saying in the last stream that I need to get better with when we do get to the new all-time high of trimming a little bit and just waiting for the rainy day to come, because it will always come. Like, no matter what stock it is, no matter how well it's performed, at some point there will be a rainy day. And then try and keep away from that thought of, oh no, but you can make a bit more, you can make a bit more. And I think if you do take that 10-20% off, I think you've got to be able to live with it, even if it does rally another 30%, 40%, or worst case scenario, 100% from where you trimmed off. But that's just part of, like, buying the buy. And I wish I had done it this time around. And we had sort of called it. We've said that it was going to happen, and we knew it was going to happen. But like, implementing it is so much more difficult, especially because the way that we've sort of dealt with the Rocket Lab stock and stuff like that, where you don't really trim off and you just sort of leave it there. But in hindsight now, we could have maybe added another like 20-30% on our shares had we have played that game.
I want Cole, remember this. Remember last week, Cole? Reese said if the stock is 10% above the was it 10 or 20?
I think we said 20%.
20% above the all-time high. Cole is going to be the enforcer here. Cole is going to make sure that he's going to ring him. He's going to make sure that Reese sells out. And you know what? I will double check. Does he actually sell? We're all about accountability here, guys, and 100%. I will make sure he sells. If I have to take the form from them and sell it, I will.
Yeah, I actually think I need you guys to tell me about it, because like, I just get too caught up in it. I'll get too carried away, and I'll think we're going straight to the $20, and then boom, like we can end up like where we are today. But yeah, I think I'll need you guys to just let me know and keep me in check, really.
So Dylan Rogers, don't forget. Do you know what? We're gonna ask this one at a time. Guys, make sure you bang that like button if you want more eVTOL content. This is one thing that we're gonna start getting more of. So, as we grow, this sounds bad, but as we grow, we're gonna start looking to see what everyone is liking. So, as you've seen, we started off everything eVTOL. Then we started noticing most of our community is commenting or liking Archer content. So then we started focusing on Archer Joby. Now, even though we don't have as much Joby investors, I don't know. I just have a sweet spot for Joby. I don't know why, because I know we've butchered them down so much over the past while. But I just have a soft spot for Joby. But honestly, guys, if you want to see more Archer content, or you want to see more Joby content, you want to see more EHang content, make sure to tell us in videos, because we can't read minds. If no one's commenting saying they want to see more Archer, more Joby, how are we to know? At the moment, we're getting welcome with open arms into Rocket Lab. But I want to clarify that we are not going away from eVTOL. This is our space. Never forget those that were there on the come up.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think seeing all these names like Dylan Cole, WHP, Newblade, even Bagger Holden.
Yeah.
Guys, we ain't gonna forget you on the way up. Dylan, you actually upset me a little bit the last day. Well, you didn't upset me. I actually rang Reese and said it as well. I was like, Dylan said to me, what was it? You said something like, soon you'll get too big, or soon you'll be too big that you won't want to bother with guys like me anymore, something like that. Dylan, you're one of our friends, honestly. You're coming all the way with us, and absolutely everyone. Do you know what it is? It's the same guys that show up to eVTOL Weekly.
Yeah.
And I promise you, no matter how big, how small this channel gets, look, in the next 10 years, we could only be at 3,000 subscribers. In the next 10 years, we could be at 100,000 subscribers. But we're always going to remember the people that are here. I promise you, we will reward you for it. That's my run over again. What's up, Sauce? I'm seeing anything with Archer $6 to $7 as doable for my purchase price. What is your cutoff race for your buys on now?
It will depend on how
Archer and Joby.
Are we saying as of today, or are we saying like if there's
as of these macro conditions that are happening now? So as of China has not made a deal with Trump yet, we're unsure, is a deal going to get over the line? We don't really know what's happening as such with the Fed rates. We're sort of in limbo at the moment.
Yeah, I think for Archer, I see anything under 7 is like ideal, but I could see myself. I'm saying 7, anything under 7, but like I know when it goes to 721, it'll probably still be on the cards. I'd say up to 8. I think 8 would have to be the cutoff, and that would be like a definite cutoff until more news or there's a reason sort of for the rally. Joby at the moment, I'm sort of just holding back. Like I've accumulated enough for me to be happy if it did rally. But I feel like the news and everything that we've seen recently has kind of got me feeling that Archer might be a little bit in front of them, which is so funny because in December, I thought Joby were leaps and bounds in front of Archer. But I do feel a little bit disloyal to Joby. Like I feel like I've sort of turned my back, but like at the end of the day, you've got to go where you think you're going to make the most profit. And at the moment, I think that's Archer.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really adding at the moment. Joby actually probably looks a nicer buy to me at the moment, just because if I'm looking at it at the moment, I'm kind of stretched with capital, where I'm sort of like tied. My hands are tied, yeah. And what I'm thinking at the moment is, what is going to cause a rally in conditions like this? Yeah. And all that I can see that will cause a rally in things like this are the likes of massive partnerships, the likes of like the Palantir partnership. Yeah, that did. Some of your piloted flights will, but who is closest to certification? It's Joby. So I really do think in this short-term, midterm, Joby is probably a nicer steal for me at the moment for just unlocking a little bit of capital. As a long-term investor, look, I'm quite concentrated on Archer at the moment in comparison to Joby, and I'm not on about getting it to 50-50, but I would like to balance that out a little bit more again, because I think the boat's sinking on one side.
No,
Not
I
in
can.
bad way, but
Yeah, no, I can completely back down. But who knows? If we see an agreement with Trump and China, I think the whole market will rally again. And then hopefully now with the eVTOL space, and like there has been a bit of a lag since the last piece of news that we've received.
Yeah.
And usually that's because they're building something or building up to release a deal or a partnership. So yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye out now the next couple of weeks because I'm expecting to see something.
So then we have WHP. In a few months, you'll see fewer products in retail stores, and those in store will be higher priced. Decisions for the holiday season have already been made, as now is when those orders go in. True that. That is a true thought. And I think that will sort of set the conditions for the first half of next year, which is when we're expecting Archer to go commercial. So are we going to be in negative macro conditions when Archer go commercial? And has anyone actually thought of that? Anyone that is banking on the news of commercialization, you need to actually think of what the macro conditions going to be like around them, because it could suppress a pump. And I wouldn't be too worried about it, because once the depression is over, you'll get a nice pump. You may not get. We've said it. Me and Reese have said it. I could see commercialization comes out. You'll get a little pump, and then all of a sudden you'll get a massive collapse, and then you'll slowly start seeing it go up. Worst trade, FFIE. I've heard that's a bad one. I never got involved in that. Will do, noob. Phil, great to see you. It was really nice speaking to you on Facebook. It was actually a strange one. I didn't expect. It was only I got a message request, and I was like, whoa. That is the Discord link. Tilray, you say Tilray. I made 70,000 on that stock in a week. Yes.
Oh, this is a leveraged man. There's two halves of a coin, everyone.
Yeah.
We got tails and Terry got heads.
Can I have my money back, please?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, WHP.
You know what?
Unbelievable.
That is the kind of thing, yeah. Honestly. And this is hand on heart, yeah. We don't do any of this for the money. We've said it before. And by the way, I'm not going to run it about myself. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that.
No, 100%. Really appreciate WHP.
But we honestly, guys, we don't do this for the money. It is, as we said before, it's went from me and Reese in our bedrooms talking about it. And we talk exactly like we're talking now. That's why I'd love some of you guys to actually meet us, because the one thing it sounds weird, yeah. Do you know how you see some people on and off a camera, yeah? And you're like, there's no way. Guys, I can promise you, like, there's no filter. Like,
is it the big? You'd be quite worried though if this is us putting on a good act.
yeah. Big Reese.
Yeah. No, that's the real Reese.
WHP, you have completely thrown me off there. I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. That's our first ever super chat, so massive thanks for that.
That is our biggest super chat. That is insane. Do you know what? That is definitely going towards us going to speak to Vertical, because when we go and speak to Vertical, we were actually talking about this, yeah, because guys, are any of you actually invest in Rocket Lab? Because if you're not, I'm gonna stop talking about it because I'm so excited about this opportunity. But if none of you invested in it, I'm not gonna bore you with it. But we're invited to the Neutron launch, and we were and on. We won't go until last week. It was my younger brother turned around to me and he says, "But why don't the two of you go? Like, you've never seen a launch before. It'd be a great opportunity to like show the guys what it's like being at a launch. And look, you don't know who you're going to meet, and meet the likes of Peter Beck. But I'll tell you exactly what that $19 will be going towards, because me and Reese are sitting there and we're like, yeah. Well, who's going to film it? And so then, I'm not going to say my younger brother's name. What do we call him? Morgan. The big
Samuel,
Morgan.
yeah.
Samuel. Samuel said he'd be the cameraman. And I was like, that's great. But with what camera? So we need a camera. So that $19 is 100% going towards a camera for the Neutron launch. And guys, if you want us to like, I don't know, do a bit of a series of us like traveling across, because I can promise you that'll be a bit of crack. And if anyone wants to meet us over there,
I was going to say, if any of you are nearby, great to see you in person.
I know. I actually haven't said this to you, Reese. I've organised with Dylan Rogers. We're meeting up with Dylan Rogers over there. If anyone wants to join us, the launch is happening in Virginia. No, Virginia's a big place. It's Wallops Island. I do not know exactly where that is, but we can travel. I don't mean across the whole country, but we can travel a certain distance. But we could have a little meet-up. That'd be quite good. The reason there's no Joby content is because Joby doesn't give any info to share. I'm sorry, but they said anything. I know you guys would bring it to the community. And that's the thing. It's getting to a stage, even with Archer, like, I didn't want to come on. I said it to Race today. I didn't want to come on eVTOL Weekly and kind of like scrape the barrel with news. Because I feel like that's us doing you an injustice. We're going to be dead honest. When there's no news, we're going to come on here and just have a chat with you about the whole eVTOL market, how we're feeling. If you've any questions for us around the eVTOL market, and if you've any videos you want us to make, feel free to ask us. And that's one thing I want to say.
Or even not even just, it doesn't even have to be about the eVTOL trades. Like, even some of these other trades are quite entertaining to see. And to see what other stocks that people are in. I think that's going to be a... Because it's interesting to see other people doing. Obviously, not everyone is just in eVTOL. Just to see what other trades people are doing is quite entertaining. And obviously, we've had our horror shows, but I imagine not everyone here's got a 100% record either. So,
do you know what? Yeah, guys, you've only ever really seen us on like quite good days. Like, I know we're in this pullback, but to be fair, we're in this pullback together. So, like, do you know when like everyone's going through the same stuff? Yeah. I'm not that bothered. I'm just like, look, we're all in a sinking ship together. Nah, that's going to get clipped. We're not in a sinking ship. We're like,
it's sort of like our AA meeting whilst we're going through this pullback.
Yeah.
Like, we all come here and we just share our thoughts and opinions, and it will get us past. Like, we will be rallying again. This isn't a permanent thing. There'll be ups and downs.
There's trades that me and Reese make, and sometimes we don't bring it to you. And guys, if you like this sort of format of eVTOL Weekly, or if you'd prefer us to do it on a different live stream, I'm happy enough to do that too. But there's trades me and Reese make sometimes, and we don't bring it on the show because it's not eVTOL related, like the Uber. And I think I mentioned the Uber in the video one though before around here.
Possibly.
But guys, you'd want to be a fly in the wall sometimes between mine and Reese's conversations when you're in these wrong side of the trade, because it's not all happy hustle brothers. There's quite a few swear words. There's quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are so humble and dedicated. You guys make it easy to want to come back and learn more and be in this community. Great job to all here.
Oh,
thank you so much. You know what? Proper. The hardest thing to do is grow a community that wants to keep coming back. And I genuinely think it is just speak to people. I think so many people forget about the community. There's nothing worse, yeah. Sometimes I'd be watching a live stream and they're not even like interacting with the crowd. Do you know what? I feel like when I come on here, like I'm going to be dead honest. I have to be very careful what I say because there's a few people that I work with that actually follow the channel now. So I had a great day at work today, yeah. I loved every bit of it, yeah. But genuinely, I can't wait to come on the live streams. And it's not just to talk to Reese. Yes, I enjoy speaking to Reese. But I could do that on the phone. But it's great to speak to the likes of all you guys. And Dylan, honestly, you make researching Archer and Joby really, really interesting. Like I've been speaking to some of them Rocket Lab guys, and they want to be our researchers and this, that, and the other. And if I could mold a person, I wouldn't know who to pick here. Yeah, because each of you are great in your own way. Even Bag, yeah. At the very start, and Bag won't mind me saying this, I was having people call for me to ban Bag from the channel, yeah, because he had been banned from all the eVTOL channels. Guys, why would I ban him, yeah? I'm not being funny, yeah. We have a laugh back and forward, this, that, and the other. But he doesn't say anything offensive. Like, just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's wrong.
Just because you disagree with someone's point doesn't mean that they're like being offensive or like personally attacking you. Like, it's just your opinion and their opinion.
I'm not being funny. And this is dead serious. I think we are more offensive to Bag than Bag is to us. Bag could give us an awful lot more stick than he does.
Yeah. He does get a fair few shout-outs as well, to be fair to him.
Nah, I'm waiting for the day that we call him on for a chat, yeah? Who would like to see that, yeah? Forget about these, like, I don't know, Peter Becks and Adam Goldstein.
That's the day, That's the day we're living for.
Guys, who wants us to interview Bag or hold a debate, yeah? We might actually have to bring someone on, but...
Piers Morgan.
Do you know what?
Piers Morgan.
Guys, which one of you wants to come on? However, Dylan Newblade, before you nominate yourself, you have to be a referee. So you can't stay pro Archer points. And the reason I've called out the likes of Dylan is because, Dylan, you're just like us. If not, it'd be 3 against 1, really. But who here wants to be the referee of the Hustle Brothers versus Bagger Holding, the debate? I genuinely think that could be cracking, and it has to be live. I don't care. Yeah, that's no pre-record. That's not a pre-recording. That's live. I want the thoughts to come out as they come out, and I want the real reactions as they come out. And I want to see who crumbles first, because I honestly, hand on heart, I don't know why you would watch an eVTOL show every single day, unless you have been banned on every single channel. I don't know why you'd watch an eVTOL stock every single day or show every single day, because we don't talk about price movement that much or anything. We're actually genuinely talking about the information about the company. So he can't say it's because he's short in it. I genuinely think Bagger Holding is a secret eVTOL bull. I think he likes to wind up.
That'd be a plot twist and a half. He's actually the biggest holder.
He's actually Samuel L. in disguise.
Yeah, it's Adam Goldstein.
Guys, does anyone follow Vaz? I've seen Vaz has been putting out quite a bit of content. Let me know. He shouted us out on the Martin Lucas Investor channel. So I want to shout him out there. Guys, do any of you follow Martin Lucas Investor? I know a few times we've had an opportunity to go on and speak. We haven't taken the opportunity, but if you want us to, I've not got them. Hey, Dylan. So can I see? Yeah. I'm sorry, WHP, you have stole the show. Thank you so much. Do you know what? This show should have been about you. You've had a great day. You didn't need to you didn't need to pay us, mate. Honestly. Thank you. I'm in Rocket Lab. Call F was actually, he's the man that got my head spinning that time. He got the cogs turning because he said about he'll get us in touch with Matt Money. And that's when I thought, do you know what? We may as well collaborate with these Rocket Lab boys. Oh, by the way. Yeah, guys, do you want to know a secret? And if no one replies, I'm not saying it. Not in Rocket Lab, but I'm tuned in. I'm not in Rocket Lab. Guys, are you not in Rocket Lab because you don't believe in Rocket Lab, or have you just never heard of it? That's not me being sarcastic. Are you not in Rocket Lab because you don't believe in the stock in the company and you're not interested? Or have you never heard of it? Because it's easy for me and Reese to think, oh yeah, Rocket Lab's a big stock. However, like, that's only because we've been following it. So, Cole, if you're up for it, what's your average on Rocket Lab? I'm not in at the moment. Morgan the White. Do you know what? Some of Cole's stuff is cracking. The Hoffer brothers are going to be 3.5 hours from my house for the launch. It's about that distance from DC. And we're coming to yours for a cup of tea, mate, in the morning. Do you know what? Do you do a fry-up in the morning? Yeah? Reese, do you fancy like driving 3.5 hours for a fry-up? Oh, no, do you know what? That's like a 7-hour round trip or something, isn't it?
It would be. We'll have to be halfway.
I believe Archer will decouple from macro conditions by late Q1 26, if not sooner. I really hope so. That includes averaging up for a while. It's one of my DCAs. Awesome DCA on the call. We understand you don't do this for the stickers. With a wink face. Do you know what? I think I need... No, I nearly said something again, you know. I love my job and I wouldn't go full time. Do you know what? Imagine doing this full time. I actually think, mate, imagine like researching every day. Just imagine the time you'd have, due diligence you could have. But it's even things like, I'm recently after doing a course in Power BI, and I've actually showed you a little bit of it, how I can drill down on data and plot in the likes of Arch and Joby. And it's something I really want to bring to the community. And guys, I'm being dead serious. When I bring that out,
it'll be a game changer.
This shows you I'm not doing it for the stickers, WHP. It'll be free, I promise you. Because my honest belief is if we get the whole community up to scratch, in the know, you won't have absolute shenanigans like we had on our live stream where I'm not going to bring it up again when you talk about it too much. Lions Super Bowl. Hey, how's everyone? Great show, guys. Thank you so much.
How's it going, Super Bowl?
Lions, have I seen you before? Are you subscribed? No. Make sure to bang that subscribe button. There you go. That's a plug. Virginia launch. You should definitely go and video. It'd be great content for your channel. I was thinking about that, yeah. I was like, at the time, I was like, everyone's going to do it. Do we want to just do what everyone else is doing? Because I think we've sort of stood out from the crowd that we're the weirdos of YouTube race, yeah. We're not the like guys that go in like these big financial analysts. We come at a different approach. And I was like, are we stepping on everyone's toes by going and recording it? But then I was like, do you know what? We'll give the people what they want. If they want us to go around, then we'll go. If not, there's no holiday for us. Banning is only breaking the laws or scamming. The rest is freedom of speech. Completely agree.
100%.
New Blade refereeing. Yeah, honestly, good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be a good ref. Would just play bad cop the whole. Do you know what, Cole? I actually don't think I'd be able to be serious if you were on, because he is so quick with some of his things. I think all the nicknames have came through Cole. Hey, there's bag of holding, yeah. Right. So, are you up for a bull versus bear debate? The Hustle Brothers versus Bag of Holding live. We're gonna have a referee, so it's gonna be someone completely impartial. So if New Blade wants to do it, but New Blade has to agree that he can't agree with either of us, and if it gets too heated, he can't sit down.
Yeah.
As long as we're respectful, we're not going to be mean, I promise. But if you want to do it, I'm down for it. I think the guys would like that. The biggest balls versus the biggest bear. And just see who crumbles fast. Who can bring stronger facts. And I promise you, it won't be like go live now. I'd give you like a week to prepare if you wanted. But I know I could genuinely, hand on heart, I know I could go this minute.
Right now.
The bag is here. Rocket Lab I will follow for years, but they're done by SpaceX. I don't agree on that. I'm not going to get into it. It's eVTOL weekly. I don't agree on that. I think they're completely different. Rocket Lab looks like long-term hold for me right now, but I'm following. I will be in Rocket Lab genuinely, hand on heart. I know we say this about Archer and Joby, but that is another one, hand on heart. And I was in this before Archer and Joby. I am in this for 20 plus years. I haven't, hand on heart, I'm not trimming on nothing. I am too scared to lose out my shares of Rocket Lab.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Reece?
Very much the same, to be honest. But I guess in hindsight, like always, we could have trimmed there earlier in the year, and we would have been sitting with more shares now. But I think you got to live and you learn. We were sort of hoping it was going to be pushing up towards 40, but who could have seen the effect that the tariffs had, and the fact that they never agreed the tariffs prior to absolutely destroying.
Nice bit of information on Neutron today.
Massive, absolutely huge.
Massive. Space derivatives. Do you know what? We need to connect on X, mate, because I like quite a bit of your research. Make sure to follow us on X, and we'll get the DMs going, because I do like your research on Rocket Lab. And that's the same, guys. Any of you eVTOL that, make sure to connect on X. X is probably better for getting me during the day than Discord is. Discord's quite hard for me during the day, because I'd have to have it on the laptop, where X, you can just have it to hand. I found it interesting, the fact check for me, but CIA is directly invested in Rocket Lab. We've a lot to come this week, Dylan. We've a lot to come this week. Space Drivers, what do you think of our Rocket Lab content? Be dead honest. Like, I will not take offense whatsoever. Yeah. We're completely new to creating content in there. We've done a few videos here and there just because we're interested in it, but we are starting to dive in. We don't want to step on the guys' toes that are already doing it. And we kind of want to do it like in a respectful way, that we're not stepping on their toes. What do you think of our content? Please let me know. I disagree with all sides all the time. Do you know what? To be fair, New Blade, you do bring some good points though, and it has begun. Honestly, it has. Got you on X. Just hit me up anytime. Genuinely, after this stream, I will be hitting you up. But Reese, we have gone over longer than we actually anticipated because we thought this was going to be a question and answer session. What I want to say, this I was not expecting, and that is genuine. I can't believe that we did not do it for this, but I can't thank you enough. And you know what? We're going to get a nice fancy camera. I like your genuine approach. I've been a bit here and there, and I like what I've heard. Talking to the average investor like we're people.
I think that was the aim, really.
I was going to say something there. I was like, do you know what it is? Yeah, we wouldn't be able to talk to you any different because, like, we genuinely, we wouldn't be able to pull the wool over your eyes. If we had to, I actually think it'd be quite interesting if we had to. Do you know what it is? Like, I met Adam Goldstein, and he was very professional in it. I'd love to see me and you sit beside Adam Goldstein.
Yeah, I think we need a bit of polishing. We need to do a few before that one. I don't think we're ready.
Oh, mate. Like, genuine, I think, yeah, it'd be wild. But anyway, Reese, same time next week. We're gonna do big things over this next year. I promise you. All right, guys. Peace out.